or Olena, and I will be hosting this webinar today. But before we do it, I just wanted to remind you that you can always support our show. By doing so, you just have to go to our profile on Twitter, which is Omakase Show, and then you can find this button with kind of like cash icon, and you can send your donations in Ethereum. And so today we have a webinar guest, and I'm super excited to have here Serc. We met at NFC Lisbon, where I tried his incredible project, and then I started researching for this webinar, and I also realized that Serc has a background in street art. So this one is going to be super exciting. And thank you so much, Serc, for joining me today. Can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into the space where art and technology kind of emerge?
First of all, thank you for inviting me to this valuable show. I was watching the interviews that you host with the artists, and I'm really impressed with your interaction with the artists and supporting the community and the culture. So I would like to introduce myself in short form. I'm Serc, I'm an artist, I'm 35 years old. I'm born in Turkey and I live in Germany right now. I was a street artist since I was a kid. I grew up on the streets in the street culture. After that, I met NFTs and Web3 in 2021. I found NFTs from one of my artist friends' Instagram account. Then I started to search what it's about and crypto, etc. I made my research and joined the Twitter, and everything just unfolds by searching about NFTs and crypto actually.
Thank you so much for sharing. I just want to dive directly into the most recent project you've been working on, which is the View of Ecos. And this is the project I tried on myself at NFC Lisbon. I will just share my screen. Actually, for this webinar, I even read an article how to kind of what is the meaning of each brand wave that we have, like, but I forgot this information already. Anyway, can you just tell us a little bit more about View of Ecos and how it works?
Wheel of Ecos is a project that I've been working for a year. Started last year, made my research about the brainwaves and neuroscience and how can I connect brainwaves to our emotions. Then we can create actually art by using our brainwaves. It was kind of a different approach and different form of creating art just using your brainwaves. You already tested. I remember I got some photos of yours testing on the NFC Lisbon. It actually starts with starting with wearing an EEG device, like in this photo you're showing right now. It sends your brainwaves. We have 5 brainwaves in our frontal context or brains. Understand showing or trying to represent. So depending on the kind of brainwaves, it's kind of deep. There's an emotional process that you'd be thinking about a memory or trauma earlier in childhood. So it's like an abstract image and the design that I created in Touch Designer. So it's kind of experimental project, but I push the limits. How can I expand this project worldwide attention from the other communities as well?
Thank you so much for sharing. And so basically, I think I asked you this when we were in Lisbon. I just got super curious. So a lot of people basically tried putting the headset on, and what were the weirdest outputs that you see on the screen and in general on the brainwave types? What kind of shocked you the most when you saw a person like doing it?
I got few breathtaking moments that I've experienced in Lisbon. One was a guy came in the first hours in the event and tested it with normal brain, you know, just regular emotions, and closed his eyes, and just we realized the image is really nice. And then he came 3 hours later and he told me like I'm high as fuck and I smoke weed like crazy just to test this project with high head moment. So he tested and we just saw some different kind of waves just I have never seen before, because I have never tested this with mushrooms or any other chemicals or drugs. It was the first moment I was seeing the waves just going crazy, because he probably focused a lot more than the normal people could focus on a subject or a memory. And it was just a crazy moment to experience in Lisbon. And there were two more evidence that I just met in Lisbon. People who are making meditation in their daily life, and they know how to control the image and how they can interact with their brain waves, and they know how to control their brain. Actually, it was just crazy to see. They were telling like, I will change the color in that area to this color, or I will move this part from here to that part, and they were actually doing that. And I understand that this project is going to be something bigger than I imagined, because everything was working really nice, and the experienced people in neuro art, neuroscience, or meditation can really interact with the project actually in the first side of the event. So it was really nice for me to see people are reacting really nice.
That's a really beautiful observation with meditation. Wow. Okay. I do believe in stuff like this. I meditate daily, and I do believe that some people actually train their minds in a way that they can control a lot of emotions, a lot of processes. What I also kind of got curious about, so basically the color choices, this is something you also have on your website. And I do believe that they are always ongoing and they always change, because when I tried it, I believe I had this kind of color combination and perhaps also this one, but then this is also a subject to change, if I am correct.
Actually, there are 100 different color palette that I created for this project. It's more like a mental health kind of colors that I selected special for this project. But for example, if you are a holder of Veil Pecos, you get a color palette, for example, the one you tested, and there are 6 different colors in that color palette. So whenever your brainwaves change, the amount of the color or the percentage of the color on the image and the positions, of course, change. For example, you see the purple and green one that you tested, but if you wear the device and you go with this your image or your emotions or memories, you can see green more than the purple. But some other people can go with the more purple and less green. So it actually depends on your brainwaves and the relatives between each other.
That sounds extremely interesting, and this is also something I asked when I met you in Lisbon. So you do have like 4 brain waves, and I got curious what they kind of are responsible for. So in a way that, for example, you have delta brainwave, and this brainwave kind of is responsive for something in the like final output, the final artwork. So in general, I'm like super curious to understand how the artwork generates.
It's actually there are 4 brainwaves and one more gamma brain wave that we are getting from this headset Muse 2 I'm using. It's actually the parameters between each other. For example, alpha and beta, if they're close to each other, that it represents something. But alpha and gamma is close to each other, represent something different. There's a huge table that I prepared about this connection between them. So I actually recently trained an AI model that you record your session, that you wear the device, and after the session you upload CSV file, the recording Excel sheet. So after that you can see how your brainwaves, how many percentage of your brain is relaxed or stressed or something like. You can just realize and maybe get analysis of those brainwaves interacting each other actually.
I would love to get that.
Probably have those images.
Wow, that's so interesting. I really want to get that. Even like I was recording my outputs when I was trying to do it in Lisbon, and I even used ChatGPT and then also some articles around brainwaves to kind of understand what is happening in my brain in this particular moment. To be honest, I was thinking first, I was trying to meditate, and then I was thinking about my dog. And I guess when I was thinking about my dog, something changed in my brainwaves. I got like too cute about it.
Yeah.
What is
Actually,
also
that was
so
what I was telling to the attendees, like saying, like think about your dog or your cat or your wife or your boyfriend, girlfriend, because those kind of things that you love, really care about, interact with your brain, and you really focus instantly, then think really nice things. So we can just easily control the image and the waves actually.
wow, incredible. Actually, if you don't mind sharing something personal, when you do it, I think you did it like a lot of times. The most beautiful output you got on the screen when you thought about what, like about whom or which object you were thinking about when you got the most beautiful picture.
Actually, the guy with the weed had created really nice image. Really, it was just numbers. Actually, between 40 and 100 or maybe 110. But those guy hits like 150, between 200 and absolutely, I couldn't get those kind of range of images in my own experiences or own trailers or friends. It was really crazy. I probably got this image in my gallery. Maybe I can post later, but it was just crazy for me to experience, because human brain is just incredibly amazing thing that we. I met too many people in Lisbon, like they got brain injuries, they got some other stuff going on there in their brain, ADHD or some other stuff that they cannot control, or they can just really focus on something instantly. So it was just a really nice use case for me to understand my project as well for me.
Yeah, that was like really interesting. Even we had an accident when we both left. We went out, and then one guy, he was testing the brainwave, and he saw you and me coming, and his brainwaves just like moved up
Yeah.
drastically, which is also an interesting thing. And it feels like our body feels fragile in this case because we meet people a lot daily, but then the brainwave just going so drastically up from just one this tiny thing. It's incredible. It's a really interesting and curious thing to know. Another part is that I got like so excited about the kind of collection itself. So it does come with the EEG device. Can you tell us a little bit more about the sale and how the collectors will be interacting with the piece?
Okay, sure. First of all, this collection is a Genesis collection that I created. There are 100 pieces in total. There will be extra pieces. Maybe we can end up with 50 or 60 or I don't know. We can make it sold out actually. People they won't be getting it back, so they got this device. So the purpose of the pre-sale is just they purchase an NFT. So they got the device, we record their brainwaves and experience the session. So after that, we mint the NFT on chain, So after that, they get their NFTs, they drop to their wallets. So after that, they can also sell and they can just maybe gift to their wives or after concludes, we will be creating some AI images that I created recently. I trained an AI model that can interact with your brainwave recordings data. So it will be evolving by time in 2026 and the 7 actually. I'm working on some big brands in Web2 as well. Like they will be using this project in their advertisements, worldwide communication advertisement sets. So it's kind of exciting for me, but I'm really sure that it's going to be something really nice for the space, and because it focuses on mental health. Actually, I really care about lack of mental health in Web3 because we focus on money, we focus on trades, and there are too many stress and charts, and I don't know. We need to focus on something we really care about. After that, everything will be really nice after art and the other communications, etc.
Indeed, and I also like how the NFT is not only unique but also personified. Is this the word? So basically, it is
Yeah.
like created by the collector itself. It's a really beautiful concept. I'm really not techie person. I'm quite bad with understanding the technical part of it. But if you can try to explain once again how you created the AI algorithm that transmits the brainwave from EEG device to the like visual part of it. So in general, how it works?
Actually, I trained an AI model. I named it to image AI model. I gave the data to AI model, like if the alpha and beta data is between 60 and 70, it represents being stressed or relaxed. Depending on the session, we have like 7,000 lines in an Excel sheet. After this recording, AI agent and get the data and get the results and calculates how many percentage of the user got anxious or stressed or relaxed or just curious or just, I don't know, the mental health status or the states. It depends on their session, and AI model it just summarize their mental state. After that, it generates a prompt depending on those emotions, and depending on the prompt, it generates an image that I again trained to represent the project basics. Actually, we can just switch image model or AI model, but the summarizing the brainwave data is actually, it's a standard for the project, but image can be changed or prompt can be written or maybe shortened. We can just flexible about it, but it generates really quite understandable images that represent the session that we created so far.
Wow, incredible. And let's just circle back a little bit to your background within the street art. So, what was the point where you decided to try yourself in digital art space? Or like how did this transition from street art to digital art happen for you?
Um, it was actually, I started street art in 2024 and I was 14 years old and we were just anarchists and going on the streets, and we are actually living on the streets during our daytime. We were kids, we are 19 kids, and we were have a good neighborhood friendship, and we were spending a lot of time together outside, and we are making graffitis on trains, and we were trying to write our names as much as possible, because the graffiti culture and street art culture means that you need to expand your name and expand your fame at the same time. After I met Photoshop and Illustrator, like when I was 16 years old, I started to make a graffiti on digital version of in 3D in Illustrator, and I started to make stickers of my graffiti and put on these walls and the other stuff in my own city. Then at the end of the day, technology is evolved, and we met something like NFTs and Web3 that we can just reach the people that we are really trying to reach during that time. So it evolved in the same mindset that exposure and getting to know better in the worldwide state. So I think I'm about to achieve it. I really enjoy being in Web3 and as an artist.
That's really interesting. One of my friends, he also used to be like a street artist, and he was explaining that the main idea was kind of to put your name on a wall and then not get caught and all of this. And I got curious, how were you signing? What were you like? What was your tag that you were using?
My take was ERB, 3 letters. It was a god in ancient Greek. It's called Erebos or Erebose. I don't know how to spell it, but it was the god of a dark state of mind in the ancient Greek history. So I chose that name and shortened it ERB. And I born in Izmir, Turkey, and there are too many graffitis, including trains and the big walls like murals. Still, they got there and not removed because in street art there's a culture that you respect the old and OG people that made the piece of a graffiti back in the day. So they just don't cover and they respect you, and we grow the culture like this in Web 2 and in our regular street art version.
That's highly interesting scene. I don't know why, but I will share. So basically, Banksy, he visits Ukraine, and he left a bunch of like graffitis, like street murals, and well, there is like a whole idea of Banksy phenomena that a lot of people like they have property, for instance, in London, and then he paints something on their walls, and the property just goes up in prices. Yeah. And in Ukraine, there were like 2 accidents where people were kind of cutting it down from the wall in an attempt to sell it. So government had to cover it with, I don't know, it was like a glass that could cover it, and then also make everything possible that people don't steal it. I'm not sure how is it going right now with Banksy graffitis in Kyiv, in Ukraine in general. I never saw one. I guess I'm just curious if they are still there or not. But then it is so beautiful because in Turkey, this street art culture is much more, I think you're more experienced, and therefore you also have like the rules that you follow, and you don't cover the existing graffitis in a way. It's really a beautiful thing. Um, Another idea that I wanted kind of to elaborate, what would be your tips for artists who want to experiment with new technology but are kind of afraid? Because I do believe you tried a lot of mediums. I checked your website, you did 4D motion, and then you also did street art, and you work with AI algorithms. So in general, how would you kind of encourage emerging artists to try out new technologies?
It's actually the key point is to be curious about what's going on in the world, because in my childhood, graffiti is just was a way to express yourself. Actually, it was mostly illegal, and you were a kid and you were excited to break the walls. You know, I got caught like 2 times when I was a child, and sat on the police station for 2 days, etc. It was even hype for us, like, okay, we did it, you know. But when it comes to technology and exploring new mediums, as you said, I tried 3D and animation, and also street art, AI models, and I got too many AI agents that I'm training right now that interact each other and create some culture inside of their environment and terminal. since last year, I had no idea what an EEG device and what does an EEG device does and how it works. I started to train myself and educate myself actually. I watched, I don't know, maybe thousands of videos of neuroscience, and I read too many articles, Oxford articles and other stuff that's represented in the universities, like how neurology works, how brain works. Actually, I got too many neurologist friends. Actually, we meet them before the project. I tried to understand how it works. Then at the point that I said myself like, okay, you got some experience about neurology and neuro art, so you can just go with the vibe and you can represent this collection. And the artistic part of the collection was quite challenging than the scientific part, because I'm quite perfectionist. I want to reach what I want exactly in the image and the final output, and it took me like 6 or 7 months to generate the kind of background of artwork in my background. So I can say being curious and making a research and being up to date with new technologies. For example, now AI is just going crazy. You shouldn't have to create an AI image or be an AI artist or post production photos, a photographer or something like that. You shouldn't, or you don't have to do this. You can just use AI to expand your know-how and create something different. You can just brainstorm with AI agents that you created as similar to yours or against to your mindset. So it's possible when we have those kind of technology around us to expand our know-how.
Indeed, and well, you've been talking about reading a lot of articles on neuroscience, and then you also mentioned that you want to spread that mental well-being among people. And I just realized that when I was kind of preparing for this webinar, I read an article about brainwaves. I forgot almost every info, but I remembered one info about delta brainwave that is responsible for the state of like REM sleep and all this like really calm states. And it's also kind of, if the delta brainwave is quite dominant throughout your sleep, you recover better. And I realized that in a way that this project, View of Ecos, motivated me to research something that was also beneficial for me. Yeah, my
Yeah,
sleep got
like,
slightly better this week because I tried all of this, like, like sleep masks and all of this stuff. So you kind of helped me out without even like impacting me directly. It is a beautiful thing about this project. And well, I want to ask you final question on what are you working on right now? What are you planning to do? And in general, what we can kind of expect to see from you in the nearest future?
currently I'm fully focused on Wheel of Echoes project, because in the last day of June, we ended the first phase of the sales for the Wheel of Echoes. 20 of them sold so far. Now I'm connecting to the EEG producer, the company called Muse. We are sending them our holders Muse 2 headset. So I want I want it to be anonymous, their address and their personal information to be anonymous. So I claimed gift cards to them, and they will send to their email address. So I won't know the holder's address and their real name, phone number, etc. I worked really hard for this, because I should have bought and sent them, but I care about the anonymity of in Web3. So first of all, we will send those devices at the end of July. Probably we start creating artwork and the collection, and after this, probably we will get a better understanding on how the artworks and outputs differ from each other. And then I will be launching the thing I call emotion to image AI model. So holders of the Wheel of Echoes will have access for this terminal. So they will upload their brain data. They can record every day, or even their relatives or friends or wives, husbands can record data. So they can upload their data to a terminal that I created, then they get an image of their mindset and the emotions of the current session of the EEG. So it will be something lively and it will be evolving by the time. First phase will be something like this. Then I plan to travel the world with an EEG device, with a big screen. For example, I will be going to Paris with a caravan, a big one. So I will invite people to test it, and they will get their NFTs for free. So we will introduce more people to NFTs at the same time, while I'm promoting my project and mental health awareness all around the world. So it will be something different, but it should have more time for me to experience it and make the idea a better version.
It's a beautiful concept. By the way, when are you planning to do the Paris theme? Because I will be moving to Paris in September, and I'm like too excited to actually see you there. When are you planning to do it?
I think it will be starting in 2026 because I kept everything for the first and second phase at the end of the 25. So I will start those travels and I will get some sponsorships and the advertisements from a big Web2 company that they approached me like, we want Velovecos to be our advertisement tool for our customers, and we want to use Velovecos to tell our motto for the worldwide section. So probably after this news, I will be traveling by the help of their company. So it will start in 2026 probably.
You got it. Like 31st of December 2025, I will be texting you like crazy and asking you when are you in Paris.
Yeah, please.
Wow. This project indeed feels really institutional in a sense that there are some artworks that you kind of sense they have this message and they are also visually extremely appealing, and there is a whole concept behind them that you kind of expect to see them in institutional spaces or promoting some kind of like main idea as you have with mental well-being. It is a really powerful, really visually appealing project at the same time. And I just want to thank you so much for finding time. I know you are like nearly on vacation, like
It's my
almost
pleasure.
there.
It was really last thing I'm doing before the vacation, but it's the best thing to do before the vacation because I'm fully recharged and I remembered what I did for the 1 year, and it was really nice to catch up with you again after Lisbon. Thanks for inviting me to this great show. I really love watching and replaying the old shows as well. So
Thank
I'm
you.
really honored to be here.
Wow, thank you so much. Also, I have one suggestion. You can try to do a recording of you before the vacation and then after. I
Oh yeah,
think you may have
cool.
like different outputs.
Yeah,
Well,
probably. I will do.
thank you so much and have a lovely day. And we are definitely staying in touch. And good luck with everything you're working on right now.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support and supporting the artists and the community as well. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.